Well, he meant 20.
Welcome to the truth about beer.
Wow.
Hi.
Keith, you grew a lot of hair
Well, you know,
on your face, your head.
whole quarantine thing.
That's kind of wild.
That's crazy stuff, man. Sweaty.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Let's see. Let's bring up comments. Welcome to the Truth About Beer and UFOs are real. It has been confirmed.
We got a special guest.
We do.
I don't remember his name. What?
Oh yeah. Well, let's see. Let's bring on this person. You know him. You love him. His name's Keith.
What's up, guys?
Sitting in an undisclosed location on
Yes.
special assignment.
Special assignment.
We're not digging through anyone's stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, he won't be able to join us all night for the whole show, but
Was he sleepy?
Oh, stop it.
I'm sorry.
he can come on and say, "Hey,
Hey,
Look at all
I don't think we have a name for the alien.
No?
No,
we should give him a name.
I think you should.
We should let the viewers give him a name."
There you go.
Yeah.
Didn't we? I think we tried that once before. And we never made a decision.
That does sound familiar. That doesn't sound like an original thought, did it?
We need to start a countdown clock before, so we know exactly how long it takes Mike to come up with a name.
Oh, yeah. So we got Hello Candace and Mike the Naked Bigfoot and Mike Super Horror Show and Wendy and Aragon Stories.
Everybody says hello.
Hello,
So
Michelle.
friendly.
And Keith says he saw you text me because I'm using my phone for our camera.
No.
And it came across. That's funny stuff. Naked. So,
Somebody just jumped. up in here.
Wendy. Where did Wendy go?
I don't know. She came home.
Oh, she's right there. She just said hi to Michelle.
Everyone knows it's sweet.
All right.
Sorry, yeah,
Well, this is going to be a really strange,
interesting.
interesting. Okay. We'll
In-depth.
keep it
It's
interesting.
gonna be freaking awesome.
So we are going back to the beginnings of beer. The main element for beer.
It's my favorite.
So what does that mean we're drinking tonight?
More importantly, where was it brewed?
My kitchen sink.
That's not true.
It's a vintage purified
Ooh,
awa.
where was it bottled?
You can't have beer without water,
That's very true.
you know. It would be very tough. This is Kirkland brand.
Well, son of a.
Oh, I don't know where they,
I'm very confused.
I don't know what the ABV or,
It's got a redemption
Anything
value of
is on
5
this
to
one.
10 cents. It's as much as a glass bottle. Holy
Yeah.
crap. I feel like it comes from mountains, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. With mineral
Pretty sure.
added for taste. Wow, that's
wow. You know what?
what's involved
This is
in that
kind of
brewing
wild.
process? Well, there's no head on that at all.
There's more. This glass is smaller
What?
than that.
What?
That's amazing.
That's ridiculous.
Physics.
Yes. So there is a method to my madness
What is it?
for doing water. Yeah.
Water.
Our topic tonight is the UFOs. And I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite movies, but it's a movie I'll watch anytime that I see that it pops on. And that's a movie called Real Men.
Remember that?
Yeah, with
You
Jim
remember.
Belushi
Yeah.
and John Ritter.
They're both dead.
And so I'm just going to read
Funny guys, though.
a real quick thing on the plot, and
Please.
then it'll kind of explain the water.
Pay attention.
The water for Keith.
Don't be making fun of me.
I'm not. Okay. All right. After After scientists accidentally spill a deadly chemical into the ocean, a group of aliens offer to help humans eliminate the chemical. They offer a choice: the good package to clean up the mess, or the big gun, a weapon capable of destroying the planet. The aliens only ask for a glass of water in return. Water, yes, which must be delivered by CIA agent Pillbox, who's played by John Ritter, the only human that the entity trusts. And it's a fun movie. So John Ritter actually wasn't Pillbox. Well, he was, but he wasn't. So Pillbox got killed off early in. So they'd had nobody to,
It sounds like a doppelganger sort of
yeah,
situation.
that was. And so the aliens didn't trust anybody but him. So they found a doppelganger. And it was John Ritter.
Well, son of a bitch. Candace has never seen the movie.
And so they had to kidnap him because he was, he wasn't going to go quietly into the night when they're talking crazy stuff about aliens and all that. So anyway, fun movie, but it did require a glass of water. And so with this, we say, choose wisely.
Okay. Why?
The good package. Yeah. Okay.
Cheers. Right
Cheers.
on. Water. Added minerals for flavor. Oh, Keith's got the other stuff.
He's got the stuff with the, with the minerals in it.
That's not the kind we agreed on, damn it.
It's bad when there's more than 5 ingredients in water, isn't there?
Mike, I don't know why you haven't heard of this movie. I heard about it 5 minutes ago. Known about it for almost 6 minutes.
Came out in 87. So it's an old.
It is an oldie. I almost watched the trailer. I started to.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, because
it's crazy because it's really not that long ago. But I have zero recollection of this movie, and they weren't not big stars. They were both people.
I believe if you have Paramount, which is the old CBS All Access channel,
yeah,
it's on there.
That's why
It's on there. It's on the Paramount channel.
It's getting mixed and thrown away like.
That's where I watched it.
I hate that shit.
Recently.
Can't I just have one place to get all my stuff? No.
I didn't introduce Jack sitting here next to me.
And she says, Jack.
Yeah, everybody knows Jack. Jack's usually behind the glass.
It was like, Keith looks like absolute. It's not. It's Jack.
Since Keith is on special assignment and he's in an undisclosed location,
why?
Which it's like a hotel room to me, but
that's a pretty good guess.
Smoky in here.
So I drug Jack along, and he's like, "So what are we talking about tonight? What's this all about? What beer are we drinking?"
Yeah, and he's like, "Water." And I'm like, that doesn't make any freaking sense at all. But he goes, "It will after you watch the movie." I'm like, well, cool. I'll see that later. But it's a plot device, and it's setting up this talk we're about to have because I think Joey was just scared to give me beer while we're in the same room, which is probably a good idea.
Especially with this topic.
UFOs, let's give Jack alcohol and set him in a room alone with Joey. And he's like, no, please don't.
So let me ask you.
Yes.
You guys, both of you. Everyone out there too. Have you ever had a UFO experience or an experience of unidentified aerial phenomenon?
Whatever they're calling it now. UAF or FUS.
UAP.
Who knows? But yes, I have.
Oh, well, we need to hear about it.
It's the lamest story ever. And it's, I think, what most people's stories are when it comes to this kind of stuff. We were driving down Williams Field Road or Chandler Boulevard out there by what's now the Gateway Airport right there at Power. We're coming from Power, heading west, and we see over the fields just right about where the Circle K at Higley was. My brain initially said it was a crop duster, but it was a triangle shaped thing that was at that kind of level. And I had my girlfriend with me, and we just watched it go, just fly, and it just like straight up, super fast. And that's it. That was it. It's like your brain had barely had time to process. Like, was that? I looked at her, she looked at me, and was kind of like, that was freaking weird. And just went on with life, because what else are you going to do? It was like, we couldn't chase it. Not going to tell anybody. because it was just so brief and so like, holy crap, that was clearly not a plane or anything that I could possibly explain to anybody. But it's seared in my brain. I can see it still. I don't know what the hell it was. And I think it's what anybody who has real UFOs, that's why I'm like, almost really, really, I don't know how I feel when I hear people with these really detailed accounts of in-depth, long shit. It's like, what? It seems ridiculous to me.
we know Wendy's got a darn good one.
Yeah.
We have heard Wendy's story.
I have not
when
heard
she
Wendy's
was
story.
when she was a younger girl.
Really?
Yeah, she saw one. And how about you, Keith? Ever saw something that you questioned? Well, other than I know we were at the Superstition Mountains that one night.
That's the one I was going to bring up because that's probably the closest experience I've ever had to something I couldn't explain.
Oh, wow. Wait.
Well, he's going to tell us about it.
Well, tell us about it.
Oh, you didn't hear about it? All right, I'll tell you about it.
Unless I just remembered another one. So no, go ahead.
So we were actually on a ghost investigation at a residential home, and he backed up right against the Superstitions. So we were out in his garage, which was out in back of the house. He was on a couple of acres. Wouldn't you say, Joey?
Yeah, it was a pretty good sized lot. Yeah.
So I ran outside to get some piece of equipment. As I was heading back in, I'm looking up toward the Superstitions, and the very top, I see this light, and it's moving in really odd patterns. So I sat there and I watched it for about 10 minutes. And I was trying to see if it was maybe a vehicle up on top of the mountain or something. And I was thinking where it was located. I don't think you can get a vehicle up there. And it was zigzagging. It was doing all kinds of weird shit. And then, so I went and I grabbed Joey and Lindsay. And I think we sat out there probably for 45 minutes watching this thing.
We did. Yeah, I was thinking that we came looking for you because you were supposed to come back in.
Right.
This one of those ones where you guys had access
is
to
that
cameras,
guy?
but nobody grabbed one.
Well, we did. I did try to film it on my phone, but it didn't come out. All you see is a light. You don't really see anything.
I guess
You know.
Interesting. I like
that was the closest thing I think I've ever experienced. As far as what the hell was that?
That's the sad part about it is it's like your experience is all that you have of it, unless you capture the thing, which doesn't happen. So,
Right.
an unidentified flying object, as Candace is saying here, every falling star, could it be a UFO? Of course it could. You don't know what the hell it is. We assume it's a star. It could be a UFO. Why not? How's it any different than when you see up close? You still don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
Right? So other than it's unidentified. Aerial.
Well,
Yeah.
to one of the points Candace brought up earlier, which I agree with, not everybody does, but she mentioned the fact that there are so many planets. How can we think that there's not UFOs?
Well, yeah.
Right?
We're pretty arrogant.
I was just going to say, we
think
kind of think we're big deals. So I think
Yeah.
just like,
thinking that we're the only thing out there.
So
So,
the other people, screw that.
yeah.
This whole thing was for us.
Well, I've had a couple experiences that I can't explain.
Yeah.
First,
tell.
probably when I was maybe junior high age, they were just sitting in my front yard staring at the stars, and one particular light caught our eyes, and it was like, here it is at 1 o'clock, and it's pulsating, but then it ends up at 3 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock, and then 12 o'clock, and it did that several times. I mean, it's a big distance, from where we're seeing it, because it's just a tiny little light. So it's going, depending on how high it's up it is, it could be going the whole width of the planet, in a second. And so we watched for a good minute, 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden it did, like you said, went and it was gone.
It sucks because it's like in the moment, it's really interesting and dramatic, can be dramatic. But it's always so funny because like retelling it is always, our special effects in our movies and all that stuff that we have going on is so much cooler. Like retelling a real story, a real account of it is just so freaking lame comparatively. Where's the thing? And it moved. And then it went over here. That was it. You know what I mean? But like when you're there and seeing it, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, it was.
But
because
it's
it was
really
like,
impressive.
it's not a satellite, because satellites don't do that.
They don't move that far.
Planes don't do that.
That's the thing.
Oh, wow.
It's underwhelming in retrospect. Like even the story of my own telling it, I'm almost like, this sounds so stupid. It doesn't sound like nothing. You know, think of the other one when we were little kids and we watched the thing fly out of a mountain. I don't know what it was. Multiple kids saw it on the playground. I was convinced there was a hangar up there on the top of the mountain behind the school, but never went to investigate it because there was a fence, and I was like 3 feet tall. So it was
This is
beyond
in
my
Prescott?
capability. Yeah, Prescott out on the backside of the mountain. But we watched it fly. I don't know what the hell it was. Could have been a bird, but we all saw it and was like, "What the hell was that?" It flew out of that rock. It was great.
So Tim was asking, do you think aliens live among us? And if so, how can you tell?
Well, maybe, and you can't, or we'd know.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you can't unless they tell you, right? Can you tell?
I can't tell, but something tells me in my gut that they've been here a heck of a lot longer than we have.
Well, of course. I mean,
on this planet, or under the planet, or in the planet, you know?
I've always said if there's aliens, they live in the water.
Which I tend to agree with.
I've always thought that was one of those things where, like, it's just the sightings of the guys like this. I don't know. That looks, you belong in the water. Plus, it makes sense to me that they could travel, you know, under the ocean up here, as opposed to however freaking far away other places are that we can't observe or don't notice. I mean, granted, I realize we can't observe the whole sky all the time, but at the same time, I feel like if there's this kind of traffic going on, more people would see it, except that it makes more sense to me they're coming out of the ocean because we can't go there.
Yeah, we know more about the galaxy than we do about our own oceans. So, but yeah,
deep and crushes us.
Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
To your point earlier, Joey, is like, how do we know? Do you think that after we did the episode with the hybrid, do you think now you kind of know what to look for?
Possibly.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that was very interesting.
How sweet.
But I digress.
You shouldn't digress.
So Christine's experience was a lot like Wendy's, and that's just amazing. Speaking of the 70s, Christine, I think it was the summer of 76, just after I graduated high school. It was the Peter Frampton Comes Alive tour. Yeah. And so me and my buddy and a couple dates, we went and saw Peter Frampton.
Freaking rad.
It was awesome. It was a very good concert. And so after the concert, we decided we were going to go to, the place where teens like to go.
The mall?
No. So there's
sorry.
So there is a place we called the Dry Farms. It's up in Salt Lake, and they were up behind my high school, and it was just nothing but high desert kind of stuff. And so here's what's really strange about the whole story is we're driving to our destination, and all of a sudden there's this huge, brilliant flash of light right in front of us. And so I think I've let my mind fill in things that I can't say happened or not, because I remember the flash of light, and then I remember us driving the girls home and never really going to the location. That's what I remember vividly, was that. But on our drive home, we were, listening to the radio, and people were calling into the radio station saying that they saw a UFO, fly across the valley.
Balls. You got abducted, man.
Yeah.
They took you and erased your freaking memory. You could have gotten laid.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You got abducted. We're scoring with girls. No, that's not what happened. Check your pants. They stole your wallet.
Probably got a hybrid kid out there somewhere.
Dude, that's really nuts. That's really nuts. How come I've never heard that before? That's disturbing, Joey.
Well, and it's something
Like
I've only told the story a few times, but my good buddy, I really need to talk to him about it again. The experience. Yeah, I mean, there were four of us.
That time that
there were four of us, and
a whole bunch of
he's the
hours.
only one that I can really talk to.
Right.
So, but I'd really like to see what he remembers about the experience.
He's like, yeah, well, you mean that night that we gave you those roofies? That's awful.
And then there was the time that we were carpooling up to Prescott.
That was stupid. That was stupid. I Joey's going to drive off the highway. Like, what the hell? I don't know what that is. What is that? Did somebody launch missiles? So one of the first SpaceX launches of satellites. We didn't know about them. Hadn't seen, it wasn't in the news big yet. But freaking whichever one of the rockets it was, launched them in California. It was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. We're driving up to Prescott. And so the sun's still kind of up in California. And what it does when it goes high up into the atmosphere, you can't really tell that it's sunny way over there. But when a rocket goes up there, all the smoke and stuff that it makes, you could see in our night sky like the most ridiculous, freaky ass looking, like, I don't know, space amoeba or whatever the hell it was. But it was clearly like directional, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But it was scary as hell at the moment because it's like, is that like an ICBM or something? Like we didn't know what it was, but yeah, it was freaky as hell.
Yeah, I have to say it was probably one of the most anomalous things I've ever seen.
Without a doubt.
In the sky. It was just.
It wasn't like,
wild.
It was clearly something.
We were watching. We could see the little tiny glow from the actual rocket, but then it must have been the booster,
kind of parabolic shape to it that was just weird. It was not like anything you've ever seen before. It looked like a living thing or something. It was fucking weird.
And then there was the tumbling.
Yeah, it was just weird
thing in the middle of that amoeba.
Yeah, because it wasn't still. It was because like usually when you see the smoke trails from planes and stuff, they're just they're still just hanging in the sky. But this clearly had moved. It was changing, but so far away that you couldn't really see subtle changes. But you could see that it was changing. It was moving. It was weird. So we're all friggin' checking on Google, like, what in the hell is in the sky? I don't have any service. Anyway. Yeah, that was kind of cool though. Anybody else got a cool story?
Jack, do you remember the time? This was years ago when you and I first met. We were driving home from a gig. I think it was on the 17. Remember when that police helicopter put their spotlight on us as we were driving on the freeway? You remember that?
We were in town already, though.
Yeah.
I do remember that. He was like, what the? Yeah, I do remember that. I hadn't remembered that until just now, but yeah, I do remember that. Your story brought back that memory. Driving from a gig. Yeah, it was disconcerting.
Wow. And cops and you, Keith, on drive home from
right.
That's your jam.
It's his jam. He likes to talk to police officers when he's driving home from gigs.
Just when you have a headlight out.
I thought I fixed that.
At least you had the headlight out. No, nothing's worse than getting pulled over. I'd get pulled over in the caravan because they're like, well, you had the crappiest vehicle. It's like, oh, well, thanks. I seemed like I needed the ticket. Thanks. I had that where I was coming down the hill, 4 or 5 cars in a row, and they pulled me over out of the middle of the pack. I was like, what the? I just look like the most assholes. Anyway.
Yeah.
So whose band camp reference is that? He's get punched in the face. Then there was this time at band camp. We're telling stories. Jerk. Do you believe Area 51 does have aliens? Is that a thing? Are they supposed to have aliens? I thought they just had crafts and materials.
Well,
and I don't
actually the Bob Lazar thing. He did say he did see an alien at Area 51.
Which one was it was talking about the medical experiments on people? Like the Russians were doing stuff with that they weren't aliens, they were people. But they were they were altered in awful ways.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know, man. I've watched too many freaking shows. I have no idea where they came from, but it was disturbing as F.
I know one of my favorite shows, and I can say that this is a favorite though, was Project Blue Book while it was running. It only went the 2 seasons, and they ended it at a stupid spot. But anyway, there was the one investigation they did where the guy had staged an alien autopsy.
Oh, that was interesting. Did you ever watch that video?
Yeah.
The alien autopsy video is really weird. Very snuffy. I feel dirty watching this.
Yeah. Oh
Evil
boy.
being, but Wendy just called aliens evil. Way to go, Wendy.
We need to be nice to them because
Well, just
they'll give
know.
us the good package if we
All I can tell you.
give them water.
Well, we know Wendy's not getting invited on the float. Like, oh, there she is. That's that girl that said that we're all evil. We were going to give you presents, but not now. Gifts for everyone except for Wendy.
Yeah. So let's talk about, now that they've made it official. I mean, at least government's admitted.
All they've done is they just made it weird.
They're just saying, they made it weird, but they've also said, they're out there and we don't know what they are. So
I guess we're all on the same team now, except that
maybe
we've got videos.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like, can anybody really know? And if somebody does know.
Well, here's the frightening thing to me. So if we don't know what they are and we think that it's possible that they could be, Russian or Chinese technology that's up to us,
right.
That's really frightening. But I think our intelligence, system is good enough that we would know that technology was out there.
Well, and I feel like if that's the case, if one of these other countries has that level of technology, they're not going to keep it a secret. They're going to just start killing people. But then again, there's you hear about the psi attacks or whatever, the microwave attacks happening on people again. Like these CIA people
I did see something recently. Yesterday maybe it was.
They're having targeted.
Yeah.
With microwave guns, apparently portable style. Anyway, my facts are really, really sketchy on it, but it had happened years ago where there were people that were CIA agents or whatever that were having these really traumatic brain injuries without having any sort of trauma. And the best they could tell, it was a radiation sort of thing, as I understood it. So they decided that these are high energy, microwave weapons or something. Because we've been able to make those things, big ones, but not portable, carry them around and shoot people kind of things. But anyway, I don't know. And why does so many people depict aliens as grotesque monsters? Look at people. Look at the whole of people. Some of them are gross. Going to be true with everybody and other species too. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think too that as a human race, we think ourselves superior.
Well, we are what we are. I mean, if we look like this, anything else we see is going to be strange, foreign, and weird. So,
yeah. And if you're Hollywood, then you want to make it scary.
Yeah.
Well, if you believe in the theory of the Anunnaki and you go back to them, then technically we're aliens, right?
Mm-hmm.
They created us, right? If you believe in that.
Once then you get into semantics with the word aliens anyway, because it's can we be aliens?
Anything that's foreign.
All that we've as human beings, as far as we know, we're only been here. But if there are human beings on other planets, as some would say, then does that make us aliens? No. Are they aliens? No, they're still native to where they're at, right?
That's true. Yeah. So if, like you say, they've been living in our oceans for longer than we've been around, then who's the alien?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they could have used to say we're not all from the same original time, and just timelines are skewed. If we're up here on the surface and there's a major world event, we're gone. The ones below the surface may not have been affected the same way. They may have survived through the great floods or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the civilization, we could have all started at the same time on Earth to begin with, however many billions or millions or whatever that was. But yeah, anyone on the surface is screwed in solar flare or whatever major thing happens that wipes out everything up top. But down below, if you can handle the temperatures and stuff or figure out technologically or whatever, if they're not having to start over because they get wiped off the planet, it makes sense they've got the time, because we gotten pretty far here in the last 100 years, quite honestly. Whether we stole it from other people or we just did it ourselves, the leaps and bounds just in my lifetime is freaking amazing to me.
Oh,
From a rotary phone to having a full-on freaking computer to like, honestly, in the next 10 years, we're going to be able to link up to the damn thing wirelessly in our brain. Like that's happening right now. It's happening right now.
yeah, we did an episode on Roswell and the timeline of when the spaceship crashed and, you know, to today,
Right.
and the technology that's happened since then and to now. And it's pretty mind boggling.
It really is. But seeing what's crazy about that, you have to spend the idea that, so somebody captured this technology and then hid it somewhere enough so that we don't have full access to it, but little bits of it, so that we've made these technological advances because of it? Or did we just make the technological advances in spite of it? Like, is it possible that a human brain came up with a PC through just, hey, what if we run electricity through this piece of plastic and this piece of metal? Maybe we can make it think. Like, to me, I was like, who the hell thinks of this crap? We're going to polish a rock and then we're going to run energy through it and it's going to be able to recreate everything. That's insane. But that's what computers are at the basest level.
Well,
Can a human brain come up with that on its own, or did we have to reverse engineer from something? I don't know.
well, I think everything goes through evolution,
Right.
you know, so you reverse engineer something and you finally make it work and you go, oh, okay.
Right.
And then as it starts working, then something else comes up, go, oh, that's what that is.
Right.
You know, and then it keeps building from there. I had this crazy thought that made me go, what if Atlantis was actually, the whole city was a spaceship that went to the bottom of the ocean, and that's where they stayed.
It was on
That's-
the abyss.
Hmm?
It was the abyss.
Yeah, that was a big
I mean,
city.
that was the abyss. That was the.
That was Atlantis.
I mean, they didn't call it that, but I mean,
Okay.
that's what
But yeah, no, that would be
that's
it.
what
Yeah.
it looked like to me. It was like,
Yeah, it was a whole city
freaking makes
almost.
sense. It was. It was a gigantic ship down the. It looked like shit once they took it out of water. But
But you know what? Actually, the shape of it was kind of like Atlantis.
Yeah.
Because it was a
round
thing. Yeah.
a wagon wheel.
Crazy.
Futuristic version of the human race.
Well, that's a scary thought, Christine.
Yeah, they could be time travelers for sure.
Or they're just a bloodline that didn't die, didn't get killed off. I mean, again, if we just talk about terrestrial beings, which we are, and theoretically they could be too, just underwater, they'd be the same thing we are. They're just further down the evolutionary line because they stayed here and their bloodline kept going, and we got wiped off the face of the earth because we're up here. And
Right.
like, I mean, I don't know how deep you guys go with all the pyramid stuff. And like, you know, I think best information I'm able to get is that they're clearly older than we've talked about them being for as long as I've been alive. The general consensus is that they're only so old, and they go to the Egyptian times and that stuff. And it makes much more sense that they're older than that. And the stuff that they've found in them, like as far as the precision in the tunnels inside, and is it Enoch? With the whole thing with the like, that blows my fucking mind. Like, they sent these little robots up there and there's doorways up in these little tiny ass paths. I'm like, how in the freaking hell do you think that these people, they took their brains out and put them in jars? That's not a civilization that could build this thing, as far as I'm concerned. It seems ridiculous to me that level of ritual that was going on with our ancient Egyptians of this bloodline would be able to build that thing to that degree. Like, there's still stuff in it we haven't figured out or haven't been able to get to. How? Just because it's protected by Egyptologists or whatever the hell it is. I'm like, why? What happened to conquering people? Just go over there and say, look, we're going to look in the room. We're just going to take the top off of it. We see what the hell's in there. Get some answers. Stop dicking around. Bullshit. Sorry. I digress. What are we talking about?
Well, Wendy thinks you think really deep, and you know what, Wendy, he really does.
It's terrifying in here.
Yeah. So, Jack and I used to carpool a lot to gigs, and
Oh, that's right.
and we were getting to
poor
some
guy.
pretty crazy discussions, and I've always really like his point of view on a lot of things, where he goes with some things that I don't expect him to go there.
I'll surprise you.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm scared.
Our second episode we ever did, we had Jack on as a guest, and that episode was about an hour and a half longer than we actually aired because of the conversations.
Yeah, Jack and Julie like, would you two shut up for just a
Well, we got talking about aliens and like that's about when the first videos were released.
Yeah.
With the chocolate, with the little Tic Tac video and all that. So
not a TikTok, it's a Tic Tac.
yeah. And so that was crazy.
It is crazy. Those videos are crazy. Again, it's all this stuff that is super interesting. And there's just, I hope before I leave this earth, there's a payoff to some degree. So, you know what I mean? But the reality of it is that there may not be. I might not live long enough to know that there's anything. It might just be nothing. And that's upsetting, but it is what it is, But
I remember something you said that night that stuck with me. You said to all of us in the room, you said, you just wait and see what shit's going to come out real soon.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 years ago. And yeah,
wasn't real soon, but I mean, it's really starting to unfold now, big time.
Well, the one thing that I don't know where it's hard for me to remember because my brain is just so, it's hard for me to remember where, if I heard something somewhere else or if I made it up myself or what, because there's just so much crap rolling around in here all the time. So like, for whatever reason, I've had, again, with the water thing, that's something I've thought for a really long time. But where did I hear about the first contact we're going to have with aliens is going to be fake? That it's not going to be real aliens. It's going to be a governmental thing. And in an attempt to, I don't remember what the hell it is. It's either an attempt to do this whole global economy thing or whatever the hell it is. But basically what I heard is all this first wave shit is not going to be real aliens. So like all these little videos that we're getting, this is stuff that we're aware of that our government's doing, or it's technological or whatever it is, but it's not real. And it'll last for a certain amount of time. And then the real shit's going to happen. I don't know where the hell I heard that. Well, have you guys heard that before? Or am I making this up?
I hadn't heard that the first wave of at least an alien kind of a disclosure was going to be.
Yeah, that's what I remember hearing. I don't know why.
No, Christine did mention here that yes, if you look back at all the hieroglyphics and ancient civilizations that depict spacecraft, they have been around a long time.
And people with dog heads.
Yeah.
I bet there's alien animals. I wouldn't think that, I mean, maybe they look at us as animals.
Have you ever seen a giant squid? Like legit. Have you ever seen one of those things? They're just
on video. Yeah.
They're terrifying, dude. Those things are.
There was a video I watched maybe a week or so ago that showed it was like a squid thing that was really luminescent.
Oh,
and it lost a leg, or I mean a limb, a fin or tentacle. There you go.
There's only a couple of pictures of these things.
Yeah, and it grew right back. I mean, quickly.
Again, the bodies of water, the stuff that can be in bodies of water on this planet.
No, we like I said, we know more about outer space than we know about our own ocean and what's
probably stuff living down there.
So,
and you think that how incredibly durable something would have to be to live in that sort of pressure.
Oh yeah,
like how the shit does it survive down there? Anyway, I remember the first time I saw an anglerfish, and I that assured me that I don't want anything to do with the depths of the ocean. Have you seen those things with? Am I talking about the right thing that's got the little bobby thing over its head?
Oh,
it looks like
yeah. Is that anglerfish? Isn't that what that's called?
Yeah, they look like piranhas on steroids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whacked out friggin' piranhas, dude. Those things are terrifying. There was a picture of one in our Encyclopedia Britannica that we all had when we were kids. And it was just a horrifying picture. I'm like, that's not a freaking what the heck's a skeleton? It's like an evil skeleton with razor teeth. They're like, no, it's a fish. I'm like, where the hell do those live? What a deep ocean. There's a place I'm never going. ever. That's terrifying. They could just be alien pets.
Yeah, I think Tim. What I would say, to me, an alien is
It's a good point too.
is anything we don't understand, anything that's foreign to us. I mean, could be considered an alien.
Okay, Christine, was that Hardix? She just get in here?
Christine, no, she's
Yeah,
been,
she's been on.
So I just mess with. So yeah, what I think aliens, the term aliens is I don't know, used too loosely or maybe not loosely enough. It really doesn't matter. I mean,
no.
it really doesn't matter. I mean, obviously we're talking about things that aren't necessarily human or have some origin beyond us, or really just people that are exceptional. When you get right down to it, there's whether they're hybrid people or they're just people that happen to have different characteristics,
Like Elon Musk, I think he's an alien.
So, well, he's clearly not like everybody else. but then in that spectrum, there's a whole ton of people that are clearly not like everybody else.
Mhm.
Like when you talk about really high-end athletes, they're not like everybody else. They're different. The way their body processes stuff, the way their body, makes lactate and gets rid of all the chemicals that other people's bodies make so that they're not dying of pain and stuff that would kill any other normal person. Like Michael Phelps swims like a friggin' fish. He just does. He's beyond normal human limits. Why? Is he a hybrid alien? But I mean, to me, it's very alien because you don't know another person that can do that or perform at that level. And there's a lot of people like that. Some in athletics, some in mental, different areas. People have skills that are more than human, I think. And I don't know where it comes from.
Me neither.
But I want some of it. So if anybody's got some for sale,
No kidding. And say for Christine, I don't know about the origin. Are they from outer space or are they from inner space? I mean, that'll be an interesting thing to find out if disclosure goes that far, of their actual origin. But like you said, that with the petroglyphs and all the ancient crap that depicts ancient aliens and all that. I mean, they've been here as long or longer than we have. So
it's still very curious.
And were they originally from here at that
That's what I'm
point?
saying. As far as we know, who knows? It makes more sense to me that they are. It makes more sense to me that the ones that we commonly see would be from our planet, just a different part of it that we can't get to. And
Well, here's something interesting to that point, though. So, anytime you see reports of UFOs, they're up in the sky, right? Typically, when you're seeing them. So, with all the telescopes we have pointed into space,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
how come we've never seen? Right, Jack? You know where I'm going.
100%, because like I did work for a guy's place way up in on the way to Kingman, and he's an astronomer. He's a famous astronomer, and he's written like 4 or 5 books on this stuff. And the telescopes, and like this dude has a pair of binoculars that are like out of a freaking cartoon movie. They've got giant telescopes. They're on a turret. Like this dude spends his life looking in the sky, and all of these telescopes and huge optics that he has to look up in the sky with all have recording devices connected to them.
Mm-hmm.
He's discovered and named multiple like comets and stuff, but he has nothing on any sort of alien aircraft or anything like that. I would think, I mean, once you get up to like comet number 7, you think you might have seen a spaceship or something just once.
Well,
who knows? I mean, it's possible that he just missed all that shit.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting because if you look at, video that they've sent back or shown from like the International Space Station, facing towards Earth, they see a lot of crap flying to and from,
and they don't know what it is.
And they don't know what it is, but they pointed out to space.
There's not a lot of stuff coming in. The motherships are all hiding behind the moon.
What's the moon? The moon is the mothership.
Dude, when I was first informed that the moon, our perspective on the moon never changes, I'm like, horseshit. And then I went like, are you kidding? That's a real thing. We never see the other side ever. How is that even possible? Some brain starts trying to wrap around that. We're spinning how fast? And
Fast.
the perspective never changes. That's insane.
Yeah.
Think about it for a second. You realize that, right? That like the side of the moon that faces us is all we ever see. Ever. Never see the other side.
I
What
think
the
it's
hell?
hollow on the other side. It's just
Whether it's hollow or not, think about that for a second. How fast are we spinning? Why? How's this? I don't know.
Right.
That's pretty freaking mind-blowing.
wow. So there's never really a solar day. It's always
We only see the one freaking side. Planet Earth only sees the one side. No matter where you are on Earth, you can't see another side.
Mm-hmm.
so if you're
freaking mind-blowing.
yeah. So if you're on the moon, well, of course, on the front side of the moon, the Earth is always right there.
My understanding. I've never been there. So for the guys who have been there, I guess that's the way they say it. But I mean, like, we can observe that we never see the other side of it.
Well, if the moon doesn't ever rotate, though, then that would make sense.
So it's following with us. It's spinning around us at the rate we're spinning around. It just makes my head hurt to really conceptualize how in the freaking hell is that possible? But it's whatever it is what it is. I can't disprove it. I can't make any sense of it, but it's a reality. If you put a stop motion camera on it somehow or another, we're not going to change the perspective. Take a picture of it anytime. It's that one side.
So, Joey, next week's show is going to be called Shit You Never Thought About.
Yeah. I feel like you've done drugs.
Wow.
And
Choose wisely.
you know about the reflector? Sorry.
Oh, my God.
You don't know about the reflector?
No.
Again, I don't know if this stuff is real. So people online comment if you know what I'm talking about. Supposedly there's a reflector that they put on the moon that with lasers, high enough powered lasers, you can hit it and send back. It's some scientific instrument thing. I don't know. Again, one of these things that I've heard of that kind of makes sense. Makes more sense when you realize the fucking perspective never changes. But at first I was like, why the hell would they do that? Then I went, oh, well, if it doesn't
There's
spin
only
around.
a certain time of day they can do that, right? Since we're spinning.
But that's the thing. on Earth, as we're going around it, essentially, like, you can't see a different angle of the moon. It makes your brain hurt. It makes my brain hurt. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway. See, Darren?
I'm telling you, that's a great episode. Shit you never think about. That's a great episode. We could do a whole night of that.
Oh, yeah, we couldn't. Give me 2 beers.
We would only have to have alcohol on that one.
Yeah.
No, that would just make it worse. I'd be crying and everybody would be sad. And it would just.
We could spend an hour on what we were talking about before the show even started.
True. Well,
what are we talking about?
I don't know. We're talking about UFOs.
Yeah, UFOs.
It's always such a it's a super deep conversation that really has no depth because nobody has any proof or anything. There's these 3 or 4 videos now that we can say are UFOs for sure, but like they still don't. The lights over Phoenix still not.
Yeah.
Supposedly isn't UFOs.
I mean, but you believe though that our government knows what's going on.
I would like to believe they do, but at the same
Somebody
time,
knows.
Yeah.
but do they?
Somebody knows.
We assume that because we figure, well, there's got to be some worship. But honest to God, how much smarter are the people in government than us? Really, that much smarter?
That's a whole nother topic in itself. I'm not talking about those people.
The current.
I always think about that. This is where I get kicked further down that hole.
Oh. They're drinking water because I don't know if you guys can still hear me or not because they're off. But they're drinking water because they're talking about beer and water being the basic ingredient in beer. So, can you guys hear me?
All the comments are gone too.
I've said too much.
What happened? Yes.
What did it say? Did it say it went offline?
Well, we just
Our
disappeared.
screen just
Well,
went
it went
disappeared.
right back to where I start, where we start the broadcast. We go enter the broadcast studio. Went back to the first screen. So I don't know what happened.
Did you accidentally hit the mouse or something? Or?
Yeah, I think so. He's got it way too close to his right hand. Go away, mouse, you bastard mouse. Okay.
It went flying across the table. That would do it.
I might have done it.
I could have been. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway,
So Wendy says we're not on YouTube, but I can't tell.
it says we are up there.
I know, and we were last week too.
Yeah, YouTube was weird last week.
Yeah, the whole show.
But they're
Came
chatting.
out.
They're chatting on YouTube, right?
Well, you can see some of them are from Facebook, like Tim and Wendy.
Some are from.
Well, Wendy's been on both, so she went to Facebook because she says she couldn't see us on YouTube. I don't know who's on YouTube. See, Christine never lost us at all
Okay.
last week.
So where I was going.
All right,
Back to
Let's
the
do
point. So
YouTube is up, by the way. Sorry, Jack. I didn't mean to disturb you. But
no, it's okay.
YouTube's up.
I'm plenty disturbed. I'm not. What I was saying was the idea that people in government have more knowledge than we do, or have just basically they have more knowledge. Like that whole, again, the idea that it's all been kept secret by how many thousands of people necessary to do this in the first place. Like the level of stuff that we're talking about, it's pretty freaking huge. How many people do you know that work for those things? How many people do you know that have any real evidence of those things? How many people do you know that can say without a doubt they know those things are real? There's like, what, now maybe a dozen people that are coming very publicly and saying so. That's a really small percentage of the population. And it's a big fucking secret to keep from everybody. Everybody. And there's a lot of people interested in this stuff. A lot of people, right? So again, I don't disbelieve that it exists. I have a real problem believing that we have any frigging clue what it is, that anybody has any real clue what it is. Whether we captured anything or not, I don't think that we have the slightest clue what we're dealing with or how to do anything with it. They may have had alien technology in their possession for decades, whatever. But like, again, I always feel like the curve would be much bigger if we knew what the hell we were doing with it. Because the idea like, oh, they got all this free energy technology and they're just keeping it for themselves. Like, why? That would be invaluable. Oh, because the earth could live free and whatever. But they wouldn't. They wouldn't give it away. You know what I mean? They'd still sell it to us because that's what they do, right?
Well, yeah.
The big, rich, whatever.
Well, that's why Tesla didn't get the contract.
That's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so
he was going to give it away.
And there, he never really finished it, or did he? And that's not alien technology. He's talked about those kinds of things, and they're still not here. We still don't have them. But there's a lot of examples of technologies that humans have created that big companies have bought and shelved. Why wouldn't that stuff, like anti-gravity technology, why wouldn't that be useful as a product to sell? We'll get rid of oil. Yeah, who gives a shit? It'd be worth a lot of money. I mean, don't you think that people be interested in it? I don't understand where it's like, well, we can't figure out a way to market that. I mean,
right.
People buy friggin' Skechers that bend in half because they're too fat to tie their shoes. But like, how would we ever market anti-gravity stuff? I don't know. It seems ridiculous to me. But
so do you believe? I'm going to get in trouble for saying this probably. But do you believe that there's groups that the government don't even know about?
Well, and then there's a thing. What does that mean? Groups that they don't know about, groups that they don't have any control over, groups they don't have any power over. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that there are people in the world that maybe are off the grid. Now, are they off the grid because they're above it, or are they off the grid because they're just not playing? You know what I mean? There's people that government doesn't know about because they decided generations ago, we're not effing with you people. We're going to go live our lives up in the mountains, wherever the hell it is, and just exist, know how to exist, and we don't need to be part of your system. Those people exist in this world. We don't know who they are because they're not part of this crap. But if you're saying there's people that are above reproach and that are above the government, Well, what does that take? Just takes enough money, right? Or wealth.
Right.
Jeffrey Epstein is all you need to see to know that, yeah, clearly there's a level of wealth or power that goes beyond our system of government.
Right.
You know, like that whole thing is still like we just forgot about it. Like, no biggie. Who the hell is that dude? Oh, he's this billionaire guy. What's he do? Well, he gives financial advice. Okay. Did you ever see Weinstein talk to him? The Eric Weinstein deal when he talked about this, he's like, this guy doesn't know shit about finances. Like 5-minute conversation was like, you're a what? Manage a hedge fund for why? You're an idiot. Clearly, he's not a financial wizard or any kind, but people giving him billions of dollars.
I want that job, except I don't want to end up like he did.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And it's a big deal that we don't talk about. So there you go. There's obviously stuff that can be kept from us, but only to a certain degree. I bet you people could find out what happened to him if they wanted to, but who wants to find out?
Right.
Well, you don't want to get too close because you'd end up with it.
That's exactly it.
You're right. That's what happens to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, when it comes to technology and the alien stuff, I don't quite understand what is the push to keep it secret.
Well, this is my take, or what I think. I think it would be a really bad day to be a government official when it was announced that there's an entity or a group that's much bigger than them.
Yeah.
That has more control over us.
Well, yeah.
You know, because then it's like you would say, well, we don't need to listen to you then. You know,
Well, there's people in politics have a vested interest in keeping the level of power they have, obviously. But I don't know that they're aware necessarily of anything more than we are, other than they happen to be in this niche of humanity where they've got power like crazy because we voted them into an office thing and they just won't go away.
Yeah.
You know, we keep letting them stay there.
Where do the levels of hierarchy stop?
I have no idea. And that's again, because I'm just down here. I work, I do what I do. And my day to day is so way below that level. And again, I don't have a genuine interest in finding that much out, because what the hell can I do with that information other than screw my life up?
You don't want to talk about the Freemasons?
I don't mind talking about any of it. I'll talk about all kinds of crap, but the reality of it is I don't really want a genuine knowledge that's not supposed to be had, because what the hell am I going to do with it? You know what I mean? Is what we see is that anybody who's reached a level of having anyone who's got that level of information that is, I guess, taboo or dangerous, we don't hear about them. You know, why do we hear tidbits of it? That's the part that's so disturbing to me. It's like, why do we get that little bit? You know, because we didn't need to know about Jeffrey Epstein on any level. They could have kept that from us, right? Because they kept a lot of stuff out of the media. They have a lot of control if they want to. So why in the did we have to even know he existed? It's weird.
To keep you in line.
But here's what I'm saying is, like, if they have this alien shit, why? Somebody's got to be able to find it out. I mean, if they can let that little stuff leak or whatever the hell it is, I don't know. There's so much stuff that I don't understand the mechanics of, and I guess I'm okay with that because I feel like it's dangerous to really know stuff. You wind up living in Russia, rooms, and can't come back home.
Yeah, well, heavy metal. If we do talk about the Freemasons, I almost guarantee our feet will go down halfway through it.
That'd be sweet. Did they do all the gay sex?
I think it already did once, didn't it?
They probably already did. Yeah.
The Freemasons are weird sex rituals, right?
Was that them?
I'm pretty well. I don't know the one show that I saw. They talked about their ceremonies. They let cameras come in and watch their ceremonies. At one time, they did a whole. Oh, this is what we do. There's nothing weird about this. This is cool. It's just a spanking. I don't remember the specifics of it, but
I remember that from the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code had their own version of it. There was a little but there was actually a special they did that was like a reveal of Freemasons, and they went through the whole ceremonial thing that they do, and it's just like a ceremonial thing. Who cares? You know what I mean? They're not like bleeding children or stealing anybody's essence or anything like that. It's just the ceremonial stuff, like just like Civil War reenactors do some really corny crap. If you're not involved in that and you're not interested in it, it seems awfully bizarre. And that's, I think, what most Freemason, ceremonial stuff is. And guess what? Most religious ceremonial stuff is. If you've never been to church and you go to a Catholic mass, that crap's weird. It's just weird. All the costumes and all the stuff that goes on is bizarre if you're not used to it. So whether it's Freemasons or that, it's just ritual, ceremonial, or religious, whatever you want to call it. Everything's weird to the person who doesn't know it.
True.
Freemasons rule.
Wendy just hasn't been having any good luck watching us here lately.
Well, you should get a different internet provider, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think lots going on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
What in the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I think we should come up with like 15 topics and do that in an episode.
Okay.
Of just off the wall stuff.
Just shit you didn't know or shit you didn't want to know.
Yeah.
It could be fun.
I think it would be.
It's fun, but it can get visceral. And just like, because again, the part of it that I don't enjoy that there's no answers to any of it. It's all very interesting, but there's no answers to any of this shit. It's just like, cool. Now my head hurts. Because nobody knows. But it is fascinating to share. I love when I get new information, and it doesn't happen a lot, but like I'm waiting for that new information, like the little videos with the Tic Tac and stuff. That's cool. Mm-hmm. There's got to be better stuff.
Yeah, no.
There's got to be better stuff.
The newest ones that they've shown are much better than the Tic Tac video. I mean, even though they're still.
What new is there? Was there something that come out in the last couple of days?
Well, I hadn't seen them before.
I saw a little triangle one.
Yeah, the super triangle one, not the little.
Yeah, there's
top,
a little
or the dreidel looking one, but the.
Maybe I haven't seen this. Is it really like that much better?
Well, I thought it showed more of a shape, so that's why I thought. That was
okay.
pretty
No,
cool,
I've seen that one. The shape stuff's all right, but like I want. Don't have a camera that can zoom in with the shit. We can see a picture of it. Like, look at a little gray dot there. I know it's night vision and it's ultra ray and whatever the shit. It's like, come on, guys. I don't know. Blu-ray.
Well, they probably do, but they won't.
No, they're not going to give it to us because they're like, not that one. You can tell what it is. Get rid of that one.
You can totally see the string on it.
I don't know, but that's what it feels like, because it's like, really, what kind of plane is this again? You know what I mean? Freaking many billions of dollars that plane. That's the best picture y'all can get. This shit. Come on. Well, it's really far, moving really fast. Yeah, I got that, but come on, really? Blurry ass little thing. Anyway,
what was the end of the movie Men in Black when they showed that big alien and the small Earth? Remember that?
They're playing marbles. Inside,
I just picture what you said before about the moon. I can picture a big alien holding the moon on the end of a stick, and it just sits there.
The wrong way, Jim. You're going to screw the whole thing up. You're going to figure it out. Jim. Put the lid back on. That's perspective of that, and that's another for the rabbit hole. Like when you get into universes and solar systems and how completely minuscule all of this is, it's really mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. I have those moments on a daily basis. This is stuff Joey's talking about, riding with me in the car, where I'm going like, do you realize how many people are dying in car accidents like every freaking minute of the day? Like, boom, dead guy. Boom, dead guy. Horrific accidents. We maybe see one every couple months or so here. Mm-hmm. But globally, like within a minute, how many people are dying in horrific, crazy ass ways? And there's people whose job it is to clean that shit up, that are constantly working around the clock, cleaning up dead bodies. Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff gets in my head on a regular basis. So believe you me, I thought about some alien shit every once in a while.
So maybe we should have a disclaimer before we do these shows. If you suffer from depression, don't watch our show.
Oh, yeah. If you got issues and all that kind of stuff, you don't want to hang out with me. That's for damn sure.
And we need to make sure we get our disclaimer back up in our intro.
Yeah. The views of these guys is really disturbing, so try not to listen too hard.
Cool. Oh, man.
Wow.
That would be a whole topic.
Oh my gosh. I got a joke. Anyway. Shrimp. What's shrimp? What's shrimp all about?
I was trying to figure that one out. Oh, it didn't say shrimp. It said shimp.
It says shrimp.
Oh, shrimp. Okay, she corrected it.
Maybe that's what they want to name the guy.
Does we need to name this guy? Is he
Looks like a Walter to me.
Walter the Shrimp?
Hoops. This is hoops.
All right.
Holy crap, that was exhausting.
Where do we go with it
I don't know.
now?
What time is it? Where's my car?
Where's my car?
Yeah.
Add it to your 15 topics. I like that idea.
Shrimps in the ecosystem.
Ecosystem.
Yeah.
We are
It's
indeed.
well, they're crustaceans, right? Or what are they? They're bottom feeders. So you need shrimps in the ecosystem.
Oh, I thought you were saying we are shrimp in the
We are
in
shrimps.
in a galactic ecosystem. We are shrimp. Barely.
That's true.
Or bottom feeders.
We're
Yeah.
plankton or some crap like that. Plankton or whatever those little things
All
are.
the crap that nothing else will eat, right?
I guess. I suppose that's true. So let's talk about vegans. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna stupid shit like that.
I think on that note, I'm gonna jump off of here because I have to get
You
up
don't
at
do it. You're gonna leave us alone.
3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Well, enjoy your journey home
I will.
from your
Fine.
undisclosed location.
With your strangers.
Mine is from the hotel.
We'll pray you sit by somebody interesting on the plane home.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
I mean, interesting in a good way.
I'll be texting you from the plane, cursing you out tomorrow. You know that.
I hope so. Your hip is being crushed into the armrest.
Right? All right, guys.
All right. Well, you
Well,
have a good night.
You too. Enjoy the rest of the show. We'll talk to all you guys next week.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Good. We'll see you, man.
I'm almost out of water.
Almost. Oh, what dear?
I'm not out of water. I've got here.
I still got water.
Fascinating.
You can't run out of water.
I can see Wendy's comments, and Tim says he's got a squirrel. What are you doing with your squirrel, Tim?
No, I think the squirrel is
No,
no squirrel.
no. Couldn't possibly be a reference to the ADD we suffer from. Not at all. We're
Maybe
right
just
on
a
track.
little bit.
This is where we're supposed to be.
We're here right now.
Nobody's commented on my shirt. I feel very sad. I love this shirt. Anyway, whatever. Last time I wore this to the bar.
Give him a dollar, man.
No, but last time I wore this to a gig, I was amazed how many people had no freaking idea what a Skeksis was. Like, how? You don't have a little bit of a clue? But now apparently there's.
All right, let's see who knows.
Well, people got to know what Skeksis are
Well, I
now
know.
because there's a.
I want to see who's the first one to comment.
Who's the first to comment about Skeksis? Who knows
Yeah.
what Skeksis is?
Yeah, where did they come from?
Are they aliens? Nobody knows.
Oh, we're gonna fall asleep.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but whatever. Did everybody fall up? Did you touch the mouse again? I don't know.
No, I put it over here. Got it away from me.
Well, what I can tell you about UFOs is nothing. What the hell is it? She says.
It's her internet. She's just
Sorry.
not having a good time.
How is she
Just
jumping
keep
back
frozen.
between different places?
She's amazing.
How many freaking devices are you watching on? I don't know.
How did it happen? Ah,
Yeah.
well,
So one time at band camp, absolutely nothing. Oh, it is a type of crustacean. Well, no shit.
it is. Yeah.
What in the hell? Thank you. Thank you, Tim. I like you a lot. I'm not sure who you are.
All
But
very
you're a
good,
wonderful
Tim.
human being. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I was
That
very
looks like he
disturbed.
looked it up.
No, I don't know when were you born, Tim. It was interesting to me to realize that I was that old. But, you know, whatever. I thought it was a great movie. It was a great.
That
movie.
was a great movie.
And for the time that it came out, it was freaking mind blowing, like the effects of it.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't it kind of like
Muppets.
well, I know it's Muppets, but I'm thinking of if you go with a Dr. Seuss kind of a theme part of it was like
It was a
what was
very
the-
more realistic version of Dr. Seuss.
what they call there? You had the
Skeksis.
well them, but what were the things that had stars upon thars and those that had the
Oh God, I don't know.
sneeches or snitches?
I don't. I'm not familiar with the Seuss world. Honestly,
Wow.
I mean, I know where it exists, but
It's like the Skeksis and
the Mystics,
The Mystics had
Mystics
to
and
come
Skeksis.
together and do
the Gelflings and the Pod People.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was really cool.
well, that's happened to the snitches. I think it was the sneeches or whatever. There were some that had stars and some that didn't upon their
Woozles are from
bellies.
Pooh, right? Yeah, woozles are from Heffalumps and woozles.
They
That's a
finally-
Winnie the Pooh thing. Anyway, full body puppets. That sounds dirty as all hell.
That sounds like a party to me.
I'm in full body puppets. That's
That's a great name for a band.
full body puppets.
That would be awesome.
I'm the lead singer for Full Body Puppets.
Yeah. So Darren,
Came from a
you could
Holocaust.
start a new band.
Snatch ass, get snatch ass.
Full body.
Full body. It's no poppycock, but it's good.
Snitches get stitches.
Very true.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. What did you look up? Wait, hold on. What's a type of crustacean? I'm very confused. Is a
What was
Skeksis
the type of
Is a Skeksis a type of crustacean? I'm going to learn something.
I think she's talking about a shrimp.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm very confused. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because there's no jack shirt. It's a damn comment thing moves too fast for me. I can't read that good. Anyway, Arthur really has a shrimp. Wow.
A pet shrimp?
I guess. Do you put it on a leash? Is it a peel and eat? Those things have heads initially, you know. Anyway,
For some reason, I'm thinking of shrimp, but I'm seeing seahorses. And
do people eat seahorses?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, they kind of look, the bottom end of them kind of looks shrimpy. It's just
They
ripping
look
kind of-
really bony, though, don't they?
I don't know, but shrimp are really kind of like, they don't
No.
look like, ooh, that looks meaty and tasty, but we rip them apart and eat them.
Mm.
Like, I wonder if anybody eats seahorses that way. Just rip the little pretty heads off and the little wings and just F you seahorse.
Make glue out of the rest.
Maybe
of
they
them.
don't come out the same way. I first thought it says Skeksis. Why in the hell get a pet shrimp in a bio ball? This is something I'm unaware of. Is that an aquarium of sorts? A bio ball. I don't know what that is. It's fascinating. Is that an alien bio ball?
It's like the marbles that the aliens were playing with.
Yeah, it's a Men in Black thing. We're shooting rocks, man. Freaking awesome.
Oh man.
I know my head hurts. What time is it? I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. Well, I think we kind of.
I think we petered out.
Yeah, I think we did
We
too.
petered out. I'm exhausted. You guys want to go to bed?
Bed.
Nap time. Gotta leave early, everyone. That's what I'm talking about, girl. You're not leaving early because we're all freaking going. Because otherwise, it's just gonna go down the toilet. I only got so much depression left for one night. I'm just kidding.
So your assignment is to watch Real Men. If you can
Yes.
find it,
Yeah, best of luck. It
so
doesn't.
you can understand about the water.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to figuring out what the hell you're talking about. It sounds.
No, I mean, the
interesting,
whole show is not about the water, but
but it's a plot device that matters.
yeah,
Matters, and it will be sort of.
very important.
It'll make you. It'll be heartfelt, and touching, much like a thimble from Peter Pan. Anybody? Nobody? No buttons and thimbles. Ringing any bells? No. All right.
No. Yes. Good night, Super Horror Show, Mike. We're gonna
Yeah, we're calling it.
say, well, hey, this is. I want to thank Jack for hanging with me tonight.
No problem. I got an empty.
So
glass.
yeah, I filled them full of water. So,
That's why I got to pee now.
so you're gonna have me guest host, and I'm gonna give me his water.
I'm like, what the shit? I thought I was gonna get drunk tonight. Oh well, so good.
So this has been the truth about beer, and
Yeah.
UFOs are real, as far as we know.
Yeah.
And then we say until next time. Oh, you know what?
There's one of those things we should.
I never have to do this.
We should have an ending. What do you think?
Well, I'm just going to do this.
Piff, I know. Wasn't that great?
Okay.
I don't know if we're here or not.
The mouse really hates me.
Shit.
It hates me
It's a
bad.
Mac. You got to go left and right and it's up and down. Who cares? We got 9 people watching. Bye.
I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, no.
You jet.
That was.
Gotta go. Oh, it should be all there.
There
it
we
is.
go.
Bam.
So I was trying to use it to scroll down and then it went bye-bye. Boop.
All right. See you guys later.
All right. Until next time, everybody, this has been Truth About Beer and UFOs are real. All right. Until next time, cheers, and we'll see y'all soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Bye.
Welcome to the Truth About